pitcher. He's going to rely on that fastball, that changeup. Got to move, the Dominican hitter's feet. He's got to use all quadrants of the zone if he's going to have success today.
First onto the scene in Korea, first player in the history of their league to win Rookie of the Year and MVP in the same season. Left as a star, signed a big deal to come stateside. He was an all-star with the LA Dodgers, finished second in Cy Young voting in 2019. Had a great run during the time date stamp you see on the screen, and then returned to Korea, where he is still pitching professionally in the KBO. A full count to Fernando Tatis Jr. Ryu's 3-2 home, and it's still full count. So one of the things that, and you've seen it yonder because you've been doing the entire pool here and you've watched the Dominican lineup in the pool round. One of the things that's impressed their coaching staff, we spoke to a lot of them today, it's not just the power, it's the quality of the young men. Willing to take walks, unlike previous incarnations of this team, when they've all been out there looking for homers. There seems to be a cohesiveness in this group.
And I think that's been the message, right? Pass the bat to the guy behind you. Do all the little things you can do, get on base, not just go searching for a home run. It's actually searching for big innings.
Tatis locked up on a big yacker. Hyun-Jin Ryu pulled a pitch right out of the 2019 season.
A lot of fastball changeup in the at-bat. This is what he's going to have to do, trick him a little bit, surprise him a little bit. How about this view right here? You think it's at your head, and then it just drops off the table.
So after the strikeout starts tonight, here is the three-time All-Star Ketel Marte.
One thing they're doing in that dugout, Dominican dugout, is they're very good at communicating. If they're seeing something, Tatis is letting everybody know. And this is a team that loves to hit left-handed pitching, career-wise. I mean, we're looking at one of the best here, Ketel Marte.
About that for a history with a big gap. Plenty of head-to-head between Marte and Ryu, but nothing since 2019. I think regardless of who gets to work on the mound for Team Korea, as we take a look at their manager, Ji Hyun-Ryu, they know that there is trouble around every corner. Last time Team Dominican Republic took the field, their first four hitters in the lineup all homered. There are 22 combined all-star appearances among the first five hitters in this lineup. I mean, it's a scary proposition. Ryu's followed behind the 3-1, and it's a full count.
And that's where the Dominican team has to lay off. They have to try to lay off that four-seamer at the top of the zone right there. Because all Ryu is trying to do is set him up for the next pitch. You saw a 3-2 curveball to Tatis on this count. That fastball at the top sets up a changeup and a curveball.
One gun, bases empty, bottom of the first, and a chopper to shortstop for Juwan Kim. Two quick outs for Ryu. Rest of the Dominican lineup for Albert Pujols. Juan Soto bats third. Guerrero and Machado follow. Junior Cabanero, 45 homers as a 21-year-old last year. Julio Rodriguez, a three-time All-Star. Agustin Ramirez and Geraldo Perdomo run things out for Team DR.
It's a dream team.
Good night. So with two gone, here's Soto. The four-time All-Star and six-time Silver Slugger picks on the first pitch. Outside Kim Bottles recovers in plenty of time, and it's a scoreless first for Ryu. Team Korea's biggest lineup threat will hit the top of the second in a scoreless start to the night.
No es nada. Tenemos nuevo voucher. Es 2 veces más absorbente, por lo que puedes usar menos. Y una hoja sigue funcionando mientras que las marcas comunes se deshacen.
¡Desapareció!
Haz más con uno. Bounty, the record maker upper.
Para el antojo más esperado, cualquiera que sea la razón, McDonald's es para todos.
Claro, se queda buena.
Con la flexibilidad lo que no son pasa el próximo mes y con 220 al mes tengo para la compra. Y más si
Esta oferta no tiene repeticiones. Matrículate hoy en la PF Black Card y recibe tu
Bueno, lo que pasa es que hay que separarlo con 100 pesos. Y vámonos para yo de una vez hacer lo mío también.
Válido hasta el 18 de marzo.
Mami, no me lo vas a creer. Conseguí tantas y tantas cosas en Walmart. Lipstick, concealer, blush, mascara, sombras.
¿Y el arroz? Desde el almuerzo hasta el maquillaje. En Walmart encuentras más. Pide por pick-up, delivery o visítanos.
cuando le hagan esa llamada, respondes. No te rindas. Crece. Diseña tus sueños. All 67, las fragancias icónicas Ralph Lauren.
Última, por $6.99, 2 opciones, una gran oferta. Escoge el pack soft con un soft más un side más una bebida o el pack pizza con una pizza más una bebida por $6.99 en Subway.
Preciosa te yo dentro, dentro de mi corazón. Y mientras más pase el tiempo, en ti se vuelca mi amor. Yo te quiero, Puerto Rico. Yo te quiero, Puerto Rico.
Estás viendo el World Baseball Classic 2026 y en abril se escribe un nuevo capítulo en el atletismo universitario y las justas de la LAI, exclusivo por Guapa Deportes.
Some of the beautiful pictures here at Lone Depot Park in Miami. Rest of the tournament will play out right here after the quarterfinals that are split between here and Houston. Finals that are split between here and Houston. The rest of the week here is PBO. Face things off for Korea against Christopher Sanchez in the second. One of the more disciplined hitters on a very disciplined lineup. Finished his rookie year with more walks than strikeouts in the KBO last season. I mean, those numbers play in any league. 2 groundouts and a strikeout looking for each starter tonight. Big pass and a miss to put on behind 1 and 2.
That's Sanchez. Sanchez wasn't doing that against his Nicaragua team that he had to face. He wasn't winning those 1-1 counts. That's a good changeup right there.
Well, you mentioned how he was shaky in that Nicaragua start. His opening assignment in the Classic, threw 28 pitches in that first inning. Got through the first inning time with only 12.
Efficiency.
I mean, the punch-outs are nice, but when you're limited to 45 pitches, that takes you a lot deeper into your pitch count than you could have been. Chopper for Marte. It feels been busy so far tonight for the Dominicans, and there's one away.
And that's a very good sign that they are. That means you're being efficient, you're down in the zone, and that's what Sanchez thrives on.
So here is Boo Kyung-moon. And as we talked about, he has done much of the heavy lifting for Team Korea so far. 11 runs batted in, the most ever for any player in the first round of the tournament. And rather anxiously chopping one to Machado, who was in perfect spot. Remember what Vladimir Valentin did in 2017 for the Dutch? It was a lot of fun to watch.
He broke a record for most home runs in Japan.
Masataka Yoshida came stateside right after that big 2023. Here's Shea Whitcomb now with 2 quick outs on the board.
A lot of times for these hitters, they've seen Sanchez before, but only on video, only on games live. So when you're facing a guy like this, it's much easier to go out there and be super aggressive.
All of those strikes. Whitcomb having spent parts of the last couple of years with Houston Astros. He plays for Team Korea by virtue of his mother, Yuni. A ball and a strike to Catherine Sanchez.
The best way I can describe it is not to look at commercial. And I only see it in high school, in college. So my first big thing is that I have to be over the edge.
You just want to get behind.
And I want to get behind. I've seen it too many times.
But all business, man.
Hay dos sentimientos que nos unen: el amor por el deporte y el amor por la comida. Y en Chili's disfrutas de ambos. Vive la experiencia en el centro de la acción. Visítanos o ordena llamando al 1833. Pide hoy. Estadio Chili's, tu mejor movida de sabor.
Con NCS cuentas con un equipo estrella que cuida de tu salud y bienestar para que seas el campeón de tu salud completa. NCS, socio oficial del Clásico Mundial de Béisbol.
Cuando Móvil te da puntos para gasolina gratis a través de Journey, cada kilómetro es una invitación a disfrutar el camino. Porque esta isla es un regalo y Móvil te da la gasolina para explorarla. Con Journey Rewards, recibe un punto por cada litro que compras pagando en la bomba por la caja. 100 puntos son igual a $1 en combustible móvil gratis. Regístrate hoy y recibe un bono de bienvenida. Ya PR es un reward, el de nosotros, llevarte. Únete a Journey hoy.
Igual que nosotros, podrías estar sufriendo de apnea obstructiva del sueño, de moderada a severa, o AOS. Somos los no diagnosticados. Nos han dicho que roncamos por la noche y jadeamos por aire. El sueño en el día es insufrible. Pero igual tenemos personas que cuentan con nosotros. Y más que seres humanos, es ser humanos. AOS es una condición crónica asociada a interrupciones de la respiración y falta de oxígeno durante el sueño. No estás diagnosticado. Esos éramos nosotros. Habla con tu médico sobre la AOS para poder ser humanos.
Welcome back to the knockout round of the World Baseball Classic. About an hour away from Canada and the U.S. in Houston, and here in Miami, a scoreless start to the night between the Dominican Republic and Korea. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Manny Machado, and Junior Caminero against Hyun-Jin Ryu in the second. Former Toronto Blue Jay teammates, albeit for a short time.
He got a little laugh at that first pitch, moving his feet.
I remember you.
I remember you. I come in on you once in a while. Talking to Letty, I asked him, "How's your dad doing?" He said, "Great." He said, "How does he like watching you on TV?" He goes, "Horrible. He's a nervous wreck. Doesn't like to watch his son, and even more of a nervous wreck when he comes to the stadium." I said, "You've been playing forever.
Your dad's in the
He's
Hall of
okay.
Fame.
He's in the Hall of Fame." He goes, "Oh no, it's a different story when he's watching me."
He probably gets more, a little bit more into his son's career. That's what we do as dads. And there's ball four, and there's some of the great play discipline that we discussed in the first inning.
It's what they do. It's what they do. And they are able to slow down the game, slow down the pitcher, dictate the at-bat. That's the key for this Dominican team. They'll let you know what they want to do throughout the at-bat.
34 walks drawn by the Dominican Republic side. 16 of those walks in the tournament have come around to score. And here's Manny Machado, now the 7-time All-Star and future Hall of Famer. And he takes strike one.
Another former teammate. Manny was with the Dodgers.
We forget about that half a year, don't we? The Dodgers have not forgotten about it. What an odd place Manny occupies in Dodger franchise history. He was one of them.
Got to the World Series.
And he's become their main agitator ever since leaving there. 2 balls and a strike to Machado.
That's a good lay right there from Manny.
And we're talking about a guy in Ryu, by the way, whose control was legendary when he was in the States. It has stayed that way in Korea. Walked only 25 batters in 144 innings last year. Manny sends that one into the outfield. First ball that's been put in play out there. Jahmai Jones handles it for number 1.
Just a little bit off the end right there. Backdoor slider. That's what Ryu does, right? It's working the corners, trying to see if you're going to chase. If you think you're in the fastball camp, you're not going to see the fastball. A little bit of backwards pitching.
Here is the 22-year-old Tampa Bay Rays star Junior Caminero, who's striking up on strike 1. 71 mile an hour bender.
With this offense being so elite, all the players are raving about this kid. They think he's going to be one of those guys, very, very special, and playing for the World Baseball Classic for a long time. We talked about him. He took 10 minutes just to talk about him.
Kind of a nice moment earlier in the tournament when he was almost in a ceremonial fashion, kind of handed the baton, for lack of a better way to describe it. And he's been having a lot of fun at this event, as those numbers indicate.
Very quick bat. I mean, one of the fastest bat speeds in the game. Like that right there. Just enough to hit it for a foul ball and stay alive. I mean, he could have been sitting breaking ball here. He sees the fastball and he jumps on it.
You know, because Ryu's not going to be out there for a long time. That's going to stay fair, and there will damage. It's going to be around in the corner. And they're going to wave big lightly in front of the plate with a sliding save. Oh, man. Vladdy midair.
Check this out. Gets a pitch down in the zone. Just like Vladdy's dad used to do. But the best thing is Vladdy right here with his secondary in the lead. But as this turns, look at this. He sees what's happening. Beyond that circle, Julio Rodriguez is telling him to slide right. He trips. He still was able to make it. Oh, man.
We saw Vlad take flight like that against the Yankees in the postseason last year.
Picture perfect.
Yankee fans look away and feel in. That ball smothered by Kim throw at first base. Brings in another score on an RBI ground ball off the bat of Julio Rodriguez.
A quick ambush right here. Understanding the infield's in. He's got to make contact. And that's something they struggled on in the previous World Baseball Classic in 2023. They were trying to go big fly all the time. A lot of strikeouts. Not this year.
Well, that's a good play by Ju-Won Kim, the shortstop. You know, you bring your shortstop in like that, you're risking losing that ball because of the angle. Really good play. Ball of those strikes to Agustin Ramirez, 24-year-old Miami Marlin, playing in the World Baseball Classic in his home park. Big numbers in his first full year in the Grande Ligas last year. Three balls and no strikes from Ryu. And there's ball 4.
Not an ideal walk right there. Review.
You know, they even showboat the walks. Yeah. Ramirez with a little style there.
Well, he had the green light 3-0.
Oh, I see you want to hit.
He wanted to hit.
Jacked. Coming at you in 3D. 5-time All-Star flying into your living room.
understanding the throw is waving you off, but Julio Rodriguez probably would have had the most important thing to do there is telling him where to slide, what direction. He's not seeing the play, he's not seeing the ball. Even when you're on deck, you're still in the game, you're still in the play.
2 in with 2 away, runner at first for a bunting. Geraldo Perdomo who pushes that one fouled, and that would have caught everybody by surprise. Kim at third base was back. Ryu's not going to get to that. It's again another example of some of the selflessness in the lineup. Put 2 runners aboard for Tatis, who's up next. And this time we got Ann Perdomo, who drove in 100 runs last year for the Diamondbacks.
Look at this. He was way back.
Well, that's in no man's land if he keeps it fair. 0-2 to count to Geraldo Perdomo. Little check-in. So this could have gone one of 2 ways for Ryu. And you're thinking, all right, here's a guy who's more of a craftsman than he is a top rail heater guy now, right? So that wrinkle, and we saw the curveball that he used to lock up Tatis to start the game, that could have either set the Dominican lineup back because they're so hot, or they just lick their chops and dig even harder. And it looks like it's B. Sends in the center field. What a nice at-bat that was. Base hit the 2-strike count. Runners at first and second for Tatis.
Just a great piece of hitting right there. It's the changeup down in the zone. This is where the Dominican team is so dangerous. Even when it's a good pitch, down in the zone right there. Perdomo just stays through it. Just love how he goes and gets it with his local out. There's just no break in this lineup. Now you've got Tatis, who crushes lefties. Oh, and by the way, runners in scoring position against lefties, 541 slow.
They came to play against Venezuela to wrap up pool play. Hit a 3-run homer with 2 out. Part of the damage in the Dominicans going undefeated in pool play. Now hitting opposite field. It's getting in Ramirez. 3-0 DR.
Another 2-out round. We've seen it all tournament. Gets a fastball down and away. Look at Tatis. That's a triple thing of beauty. That was the approach to hold it back.
Fernando Tatis Jr. has driven in 10 runs in 4+ games in this tournament. And it looked like that's going to be the end of the road for Hyun-Jin Ryu. He went 45 pitches and going 3 innings on Saturday against Nicaragua. And Korea's going to go to the bullpen early tonight.
Su profesionalismo salvó la visión de una niña. Esta es una de todas nuestras historias reales de cuidado. Nadie cuida de sus ojos mejor que Perú.
Verlos me llena de orgullo. Son los míos, son los que lo dan todo. Sacándola del parque con los PR Cups, celebrando a los boricuas por tiempo limitado en Churches, socio oficial del Clásico Mundial.
Canto con el corazón y voy persiguiendo sueños. Gracias a ello dentro de mi corazón.
depositar su cheque digitalmente. Porque verte crecer ha sido nuestra mayor inspiración. First Bank, 77 años celebrándote. Este es Sugar Díaz. Nadie cierra como él. Pero, ¿de dónde saca su confianza? El que sabe que entra VIP y que su internet viaja con él sin pagar extra. Él confía en su señal hasta el lugar más remoto. Muchos piensan que es por las trompetas. La verdad es que tengo T-Mobile. T-Mobile, la mejor red móvil. Es la red de Sugar y Puerto Rico.
Fakes the switch hitter, Cattell Marte. He'll flip it around and back from the left side. Since the start of 2024, No has pitched more games than any other pitcher in the KBO, and he's done all of it since turning 40. Turns out his second act has been his best, and that just dropped off the table.
And you're going to see a lot of that. This Peruvian bullpen right here. A lot of soft stuff, change-ups. He doesn't throw that hard, around 87 to 88 miles an hour. But the approach for the Dominican has been elite.
Marte, foul ball, says the first base umpire. Man, that looked awfully close. Chris Siegel, who is a big league umpire by day, on top of that call, and it'll stay ball to 2 strikes on the
He sure was.
Not by much.
Not by much.
Nice call.
It's a little cutter right there, 1-1 count. When you don't have the velocity, Mary, there's just, as a hitter, you don't respect it, right? You're just trying to see it, make sure it's a strike, and then put a good swing on it. You speed him up, you would think you would slow him down with a changeup.
Marte swings over the top of a ball in the dirt. However, 3 runs, 3 hits, and a couple of walks. Dominicans off to an early 3-0 lead.
Combina 2 o más para ganar.
Conecta tu casa Claro, la mejor red fija y verde. Con 10 megas de upload y download de fibra óptica dedicada a tu casa, más 2 Wi-Fi Extender Base gratis al combinar con servicio móvil.
Puerto Rico está Claro Full.
¿Y tú?
¿Yo? ¿Qué Walmart a comprar huevos para el desayuno?
Yo solo quería comprar frutas.
A nosotros nos hacía falta cereal.
¡El cereal!
Desde el desayuno hasta horas de diversión en familia, en Walmart encuentras más. Pide por pick-up, delivery o visítanos.
Cuando la vemos unir, fueran nuestros sueños, ilusiones y oportunidades. Su rumbo es disciplina, precisión, talento y determinación, para que al llegar a su destino sea la jugada ganadora. Cuando Puerto Rico juega, jugamos todos, porque las grandes jugadas comienzan con una oportunidad. Aquí somos Lotería, patrocinador oficial del World Baseball Classic.
Estos ventas no tienen repeticiones. Matrículate hoy en la PF Black Card y recibe tu primer mes gratis. $0 de matrícula, $24.99 al mes y trae un invitado en cada visita. Planet Fitness, válido hasta el 18 de marzo.
Gillette Labs es una fusión 5 más bonita. Claro que no. El mejor afectado de Gillette con navajas ultrafinas 50% más duraderas. Oye, yo, toca mi mejilla. Papá, Gillette Labs, lo mejor para el hombre. Y se pone mejor.
Cuando la mesa se llena de risas, el sabor que nos une hoy. Arroz con pollo hecho con cariño, cada día en el restaurante y corazón. Arroz con pollo de pollo tropical.
6 up, 6 down against Christopher Sanchez. And on the other side of the scorecard, the Dominicans scored 3 in their half of the second. And they hand their left-hander a 3-0 lead as he begins work in the top of the third against the bottom third of the Korean lineup with a big heater as I saw Kim wave and miss. Kim just 1 for 10 so far in World Baseball Classic play. Won himself a World Series ring with the Dodgers last year. And really played all over the place for Dave Roberts. Most of his time at second base.
He's having a really good spring training too for the World Baseball Classic. Couple home runs.
Yeah, I'm glad you bring that up because not everybody in this tournament can say that. I mean, there are a couple of hitters on the Dominican side that were really struggling in quote-unquote regular spring training play. They get here, whether it's the intensity or the moment, and it's like we're in mid-July all of a sudden.
It's got to be the lights. Yeah, a lot of big games.
That's your game bracket. Kim behind another fastball. If this is you and you're up there and you're that late on a couple of heaters, wouldn't you expect something of a similar variety? They're not going to speed your bat up, are they?
But he could be thinking about speeding the bat up. Well, 6 up, 6 down on 22 pitches and 16 strikes. And now he's done it. Well, he's got it ahead of a lot of his Korean hitters. That good two-seamer, that good slider, that good changeup has been effective tonight. But the confidence, the way he's throwing it, he's going right after them, telling them, my fastball is just better than your swing.
There's John Won Park, the catcher. I felt like that start against Ivanova, he was just overthrowing. His first start, WBC, packed house. He's trying to do a little too much. You can just tell how much better of a rhythm he's got right now in between pitches. He's really leaned on a sinker so far, first time through it lately. He's thrown 18 of them now, and he's got 15 strikes on those pitches.
That's a good changeup right there. You can double up on it. You can go two-seamer away now. He's got it working.
He's already equaled the number of swings and misses tonight that he had in his entire outing against Nicaragua.
And some would wonder, it's just 3 pitches, but they're 3 elite pitches. That's what makes him that tough.
I mean, as it all kind of relates back to what we'll be talking about after Wednesday, in some sense, the Major League season. You think there was an element in Philadelphia of, Christopher Sanchez growing up and turning into a staff ace that allowed them to be more comfortable with losing Ranger Suarez to free agency? No question.
He's also got the bit for being a guy who can take up to 200 innings a start of a year. 6'5", lanky, wiry. The delivery is not aggressive delivery where you think, okay, there might be some issues there. It's a very flawed delivery. Downhill, letting that action work.
2 balls and 2 strikes to the Korean catcher. Not a lot of deep counts tonight either. 32 pitches. Yeah, who was telling us before the game that watching hoping for around 6.
Park like people here.
Still a full count, deepest count so far. Yeah, Sanchez is in the deal with. There is power in this lineup too.
¿Y qué cortaría eso que tú me estás diciendo para que selle? Porque con ellos brillarlo no va a sellar la pintura, ni la va a resguardar. Lo que tú me estás diciendo, sí.
So now Suwon Kim, their Korean shortstop, coming off a year last season in KBO where he set career highs all across the board offensively. 15 homers, 44 stolen bases, former first-round pick, who has been called a hit-first shortstop. It's a diplomatic way of saying they're not sold on the glove yet.
It's been an issue on the shortstop.
Saw him make a nice play tonight. Two balls and a strike. You see what we had on the screen there, the Golden Glove Award. It is a very prestigious honor in Korea. It's not quite the same calculus that we award gold gloves here in the States in Major League Baseball. The Golden Glove is given to the best all-around player at each position, so it's more than just defense. Two balls and two strikes. Strikeout number 4 for Christopher Sanchez tonight.
When he's used the fastball, he's used to change up. How about this slider here? Perfectly executed. That's what you call a back foot slider. Christopher Sanchez is aiming at his back foot. That's where he wants to throw the pitch.
All but one of those 5 pitches were sliders. There's a ground ball to third from Machado. Goes to short right and cut down again. And strand the one-out walk. Vlad Guerrero Jr. has already made an impact tonight. He'll back in the third with the Dominicans on top by 3.
Hay que pasar el playback, hay que hacer varios procesos antes de cumplir no sé cómo lo van a hacer, cómo se lo van a llevar, pero si no hacen lo que les estoy diciendo antes, pues no estamos haciendo nada. Hay que descontaminar la pintura primero y entonces después la pintura lo mejor posible nivel de contaminante se puede aplicar brillo a mano, se puede aplicar brillo original por original.
¿Y en cuánto me saldría hacer eso contigo? Porque veo que tú sabes, yo creo que en el taller, porque es un taller de desabolladura y pintura, yo creo que ahí lo que le van a dar es básicamente meril y vaina, pero no ese tratamiento que tú me estás diciendo. ¿Por cuánto me saldría hacer eso? Olvidándonos de lo de la cerámica, porque eso cuesta demasiado, chavo.
Multipack por $6.99. Dos opciones, una gran oferta. Escoge el pack soft con un soft más un side más una bebida o el pack pizza con una pizza más una bebida por $6.99 en software.
Cualquiera que sea tu forma de hacer banca, seguimos tu ritmo.
Descubre tu pasión y alcanza el éxito en el Disciplinar Junior College. Estudia gastronomía, artes culinarias o repostería para la vida comercial para convertirte en un profesional de la industria en solo meses. Aprende con los expertos mientras practicas en modernos laboratorios. Matrículate hoy.
Estás viendo el World Baseball Classic 2026. Y en marzo podrás ser testigo del talento de aquí en la final de Buzzer Beater, exclusivo por Guapa Deportes.
Jr. and Manny Machado in the Dominican Republic, half of inning number 3, back from Lone Depot Park with Yonder Rolonzo, Matt Vasgersian. Good to have you with us as the knockout round of the tournament is underway. Winner here tonight gets the winner of the U.S. and Canada, starting up shortly in Houston. Ball and no strikes to count to Juan Soto, who grounded out to end the first inning.
Just love how Soto has moved up in the box too. He's not throwing that hard.
See a little shuffle there?
A little shuffle.
You think they shuffle in Korea?
Maybe. They flip the bat a ton.
Yeah, they do. They do. They're good at it. You know, I thought it was we kind of mentioned this earlier, but I thought it was fascinating when we heard that a lot of the Korean players today were on the field for the DR's batting practice.
Yeah.
And they were watching almost like from a fan's point of view with their mouths again. So the bashes a ball in the right center field for the leadoff base hit. That'll bring up Flying Vlad Guerrero. Let's take you back to Game 3 of the American League Division Series against the Yankees. Through midair.
Reminds me of the Pete Rose slides. Head first. Belly flop. That's it. How about this? Matrix.
You know, Austin Wells has been a party to both of these as an opponent and as a teammate. He's seen Flying Vlad for good and evil.
I spoke to him earlier. I said, how you doing, man? He goes, I love this. This is so cool. Just being in the clubhouse. Austin Wells, really enjoying this.
Had a little conference here between Chris Siegel and Dan Iasonio. Are they talking about moves to first base?
Yeah. I think he stepped off. He got set, and then he stepped off again. So that's 2 already.
Okay.
So they pick off again. If they don't get him out, then it goes to 7.
The same disengagement rules as in Major League Baseball.
That's right.
A third disengagement that does not result in an out means that Juan Soto's awarded second base. So look for him to potentially go here. Young Uno came on in relief of Funchin Ryu in the second. Finished off the inning. Still stays one. Sends out into right center. And that's going to go all the way to the wall. Soto being waved around the back by Carlos Fenix. What a throw to the plate. And he missed the tag. Soto safe. Mark Wilson to look at it again. The ball beat him. I can't wait to see this replay. It looks like Soto got the other right in there.
I thought it was an aggressive send by Carlos Fenix at their base coach right there. I mean, they did this perfect. Perfect strike. I think he got in. Did he get his hand in there? Oh, he's safe.
Awfully tough to see because Manny is right there.
What a slide.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it here. We'll get it here. Oh, I don't know, Yonder. I don't know if they ever got there. Did he ever get to the plate? Fans are responding as though the call will be upheld.
Well, you see him right there saying he missed him.
Oh, yeah, look, the ball, he's stuck in the ground.
He's stuck in the ground.
Glove got stuck in the ground.
What a slide. I'll tell you what, all the Mets fans are holding their breath.
That's right. That's a good point.
Very aggressive sit right there with no outs. You gotta be 100% sure who he's gonna make it.
Whoever choreographed Manny Machado to stand right there and get in the way of a good replay did a good job because it's going to be hard to overturn this. They're toggling it back and forth on the scoreboard here at Lone Depot Park. And you can see Park himself checking out that replay. His first attempt at the tag resulted in his glove getting stuck in the ground. Right. Question is, did Soto get to the plate before that second attempt at the tag?
do a swim move there. Look at this. Get together, let's see. Yeah, maybe the back leg, but too close.
First is Vlad Guerrero Jr. flying through midair, catching a corner of home plate.
Móntate en la ola de sabor de Chili's con los nuevos fish tacos, pescado crujiente empanado, repollo fresco, salsa búfalo ranch y guacamole envueltos en tortillas suaves. Pruébalos hoy mismo. Visítanos o llama al 1833. Pide hoy por tiempo limitado en Chili's.
Para adultos con diabetes tipo 2, ¿has oído hablar de Mounjaro? Con Mounjaro, 3 de cada 4 personas alcanzaron un A1C menor al 7%. Y algunas personas también perdieron hasta 25 libras. No uses Mounjaro si eres alérgico a él o si tú o alguien de tu familia
Dime a ver, negro.
síndrome medular de tiroides o el síndrome de neoplasia endocrina múltiple tipo 2. Deja lo que estás haciendo y llama al médico de inmediato si tienes una reacción alérgica, un bulto o hinchazón en el cuello, dolor de estómago severo o cambios en la visión. Los efectos secundarios serios podrían incluir inflamación del páncreas y problemas de la vesícula. Usar Mounjaro con razonable o insulina podría causar un nivel bajo de azúcar en la sangre. Infórmale a tu médico si estás lactando, embarazada o planeas estar, o tomando pastillas anticonceptivas. Y antes de someterte a procedimientos de anestesia. Efectos secundarios incluyen náusea, diarrea y vómito, que podrían Infórmate sobre Mounjaro en mounjaro.com/ACE. Paga tan solo $25 hasta por 3 meses. Se excluyen los beneficiarios de programas del gobierno. Se aplican términos y condiciones. Pregúntale a tu médico por Mounjaro de una vez a la semana.
¿Quieres sacarle el provecho a una sola hoja? Usa Bounty. Mientras las marcas corrientes no, una hoja de Bounty sigue absorbiendo, aún mojada. Eso sí que es valor Bounty triple rollo, para que cambies menos.
El nuevo D-Green Protección Continua se activa con el calor del cuerpo. Así que por más calor que genere tu cuerpo, D-Green sigue trabajando contra el mal olor y el sudor. 72 horas de protección continua activada por el calor de tu cuerpo.
Nueva 6 Cheese Garlic Nuts, pizza grande de 6 quesos premium, coronada con 16 garlic nuts para limpiar en una de 6 salsas a escoger. Mejores ingredientes, mejor pizza. Papa John's.
Trying to cut off any more damage. Infield comes in, a run is in, a runner at third base. 4-0 Team Dominican Republic. As Young Park goes to work. Manny Machado lined out to left in his first at bat.
Fastball, change of slider.
Negro, dime a ver. Sí, es que quería saber más o menos en cuánto sale el alquiler de la pantalla tuya para el martes que viene. $1,200. Y no puede quedar 1,000. Oh, hey, no, lo que pasa es que eso es para el juego nada más, para ver el juego de República Dominicana y el que gane y con el que salga en la final. Y eso es lo que dura, el juego, como 2 horas. Exacto, sí. Está bien, déjame ver si consigo eso para llamarte de una vez. Dale. Ok.
Junior Caminero had an RBI double and scored in the 3-run second. Back up the middle and through. That's 4 straight hits to open the inning. And in case you're wondering, there is a so-called run rule in the quarterfinal round of the World Baseball Classic. The team is up by 15 after 5 innings, or up by 10 runs through 7 innings. It's a wrap. 5-0 here with
And you're wondering why perhaps Rue, manager here for Korea, brought his close
Tú estás loco, eh.
No outs. It could be a long inning.
5 different Dominican hitters at RBIs tonight. And the count's a ball and a strike on Julio Rodriguez, who has one of them. 3-time All-Star and 2-time Silver Slugger. Drove it around with a ground ball back in the second.
So good. The takes are just elite right now by everybody in this offense. There's no anxiety. It's very soft when they're landing with their front foot.
I'm glad that you brought that up because I think too often when we talk about international competition and a team like the DR, you talk about flash, power, the pedigree. But they have played around the margins brilliantly. They are doing the little things as Julio strikes out. Take, for example, both plays at the plate tonight. On each occasion, the runner on base got the third because of the attention at the plate, taking the extra base, doing the little things, taking walks.
That's what they've been doing.
There is just as much substance to the style.
And I think that was a lot of the message from Albert Pujols. Hey, we can win in a long season, a lot of games, but to win championships, you got to do it with a small ball. All the little things matter.
We might see the whole Korean pitching staff this inning. We're going to have another change.
Si deseas una salud completa, en Directo POTENCIAS, disfruta de hasta 70 mensual para gimnasio, yoga, entre otros. Cero copago en generalistas, nutricionistas, pediatras, psiquiatras y psicólogos. Hasta 350 para servicios de asistencia en el aportación de hasta 120 anual que la tarjeta te paga. Además de una red de proveedores para que estés saludable mientras continúas cuidando de ti y los tuyos.
Tiene televisión. Una planeta y el Black Card que recibe el mes gratis. $0 de notificación, $4.99 al mes y plan universitario en cada visita. Planes Fitness válidos al 18 de marzo.
Canto con el corazón, y voy persiguiendo aquello dentro de mi corazón.
El sabor italiano regresa, más fresco y sabroso que nunca. Nueva pecho milanesa con pasta verde y salsa marinara. Es buenísimo. Church's Chicken.
Soy una abuela alcahueta. Claro que les voy a comprar pastillas en vez de bajito. Soy una abuela alcahueta. Claro que necesito más poder limpiador.
Más poder cuando más lo necesitas. Prueba los Base Power Pods.
Give me some of that wow. Move to the beat, drop down. Feel it in the body, let it out. Give me some of that. Give me some of that.
¡Ay, qué lindo! Me encanta estar aquí.
Burlington, marcas, rebajas, wow.
Chinese Taipei in pool play. And they're going to need some like that to hit tonight because he is already their fourth arm of the ball game. And we're only in the bottom half of inning number 3. Runners fourth with one away, and Justin Ramirez taking a big healthy act.
A little bit harder right there. Velocity, 96 miles an hour on that fastball.
So part of how Team Korea was going to stay in this game, we talked about this, was get on base, run, create pressure. Much harder to do when you've got a big deficit early on.
Christopher Sanchez is on the 13 hits. He's got some no-hit stuff right now. You can do all that, but you gotta get to first base. That's all good and dandy, but that's when you get to first base. You want to do those things.
21 runs in the first 3 innings of the first baseball of the World Baseball Classic. These early leads have suited Albert and the Dominican team very well. Slider just missed it. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ramirez. Whole different animal managing in a tournament-style format than through the course of a regular season. Yeah, Albert has had managerial experience in the Winter League. Here at the Classic, came very close, depending on who you talk to landing the Angels job this year. A job that ended up going to Kurt Suzuki.
We had some great managers in this pool in the first round. I mean, Omar Lopez for Venezuela, Albert for the Dominican, Andrew Jones for the Netherlands, Dusty Baker with Nicaragua, Brad Ausmus, this row. I would think, you look at Albert and stuff he's done already as a manager, it's unbelievable.
And Ramirez couldn't hold on. Yeah, it's weird to say that a 3-time MVP and a slammed-up first ballot Hall of Famer is building his resume. Well, it's true for Albert. Building a managerial profile. Here's a question for you. Do you think he wants to do it?
Oh, he wants to definitely. Absolutely, no question. When I talk to him, that's his dream, that's his goal, is to be a manager, win a World Series. And I asked him, hey, you've seen it all. He goes, yeah, that's why I'm prepared. I've seen it all. Calm, cool, and collective. He also understands what it's like to be in a clubhouse, right? He understands being in a clubhouse where there could be a lot of egos or young guys. He was a young guy, right? He had to earn his way through the minor leagues. He's been a bench player as well, later parts of his career. Bilingual, which is huge for a team.
2 balls and a strike to count to the multilingual Geraldo Perdomo.
Mierda, pero ven acá.
That's a good fastball right there. 4-seam ride. He's shown that a good slider.
Just to button up the thought on Albert, even as a young guy, though, I don't think he was getting hazed by amendments. He showed up to hit 37 homers as a kid. Welcome. You've already graduated. 2-2. 2 on with 2 out. As Vince Scully used to say, deuces are wild. And it's a full countdown for Perdomo at 3-2.
Everybody's going to be running.
And it's ball 4 to load the bases.
Mierda, base lleno para el bebo. Base llena para el bebo. Base por Catimba.
So he took a fastball and drove it to right center, but his previous at that. The fastball at the top of the zone is where Tatis is looking. Everything on the top, the slider, the fastball, he's in go range.
Fernando Tatis Jr. is one big ball away from putting a very difficult damper on Team Korea. Two balls and no strikes. Cattell Marte waiting on deck.
We'll be very careful with Tatis. He's a fastball hitter.
Machado, Caminero, and Perdomo aboard already. A 5-0 lead for Team Dominican Republic. The fastball, pretty good one too.
That's a cut fastball right there, kind of riding away from the barrel.
Tatis has 10 runs batted into the tournament. And they want nothing to do with it. Maybe this is why Guam didn't want anything to do with it.
This was against Israel. Gets the slider right there with the bases loaded. All game they were trying to throw him that slider. He finally connected. Slam Diego bringing it to Miami.
So Cachel Marte will be the ninth Dominican batter to get to the plate this inning. RBI double by Vlad Guerrero Jr., RBI single by Machado, and his San Diego teammate Fernandez Jr. with a bases loaded walk.
He gets swing happy early in counts. If you miss over the plate, he's going to hurt you.
He's had one at bat from the right side of the plate, one hitting left. Walk starts with a strike. Team Dominican Republic has hit for 37 2/3 innings. They've drawn 37 walks.
I thought you were going to say they were hitting for 37 minutes for a second.
4 walks tonight.
That's what the pitch was.
Amaury, ¿tú tienes algún televisor de esos que tengan vaina chiquito para yo probar si se puede ver con antena el canal 4 para ver si ponemos una pantalla gigante en la placita? No. Lo que quiero es ver si se puede coger la señal con antena. Con una antena buena para ver exacto, para poner una pantalla gigante el martes, que es la final del Clásico. Exacto, una vaina para probar nada más, para conectar la antena. A ver si se puede ver, si se puede coger el más. Sí, hablé con él, sí. Ya, pero voy a pasar a buscar el televisorcito ese para probar. Dale.
To a bases loaded walk, 7-0 for the Dominicans.
Well, now comes a guy that understands the ruling, right? I don't think we're going to see another long run bullpen.
Para el antojo más esperado, cualquiera que sea la razón.
Ahí también la cotización de servicio al exterior. Y te dos opciones. La opción 1 es con selladores a mano.
Desde el desayuno hasta el deporte creador. En Walmart encuentras más. Pide por pick-up, delivery o visitas.
Como dice ahí la cotización, con sellador a mano de 6 meses, es el trabajo, se hace en 8 horas. Con sellado de hasta 6 meses con pulidora. Eso toma 2 días de trabajo.
Será la jugada.
Ya para el detallado interior, te recomendaría que primero actives los asientos y cuando tengas los asientos ya listos, pues entonces hacemos el detallado. El detallado interior toma también de 6
¿Cómo pudiste
a 7
dejarme
horas de trabajo.
con tantos cargos bancarios?
Y nada, cualquier cosita pues tienes que ir a la verdad.
Abre tu cuenta. Cuando Móvil te da puntos para gasolina gratis a través de Journey, cada kilómetro es una invitación a disfrutar el camino. Porque esta isla es un regalo y Móvil te da la gasolina para explorarla. Con Journey Rewards, recibe 1 punto por cada litro que compras pagando en la bomba o la caja. 100 puntos son igual a $1 en combustible móvil gratis. Regístrate hoy y recibe un bono de bienvenida. Ya PR es un reward, el de nosotros, llevarte. Únete a Journey hoy.
En el hospedaje, esa mesa ha sido mi compañera fiel.
porque ahí mismo hacía de todo. Comía, estudiaba y soñaba con lo que vendría. Me sentía arropado por ese espacio, porque sabía que con esfuerzo llegaría lejos. Y lo logré. Mi mesita sigue siendo parte de mi vida, porque ahora es mi hijo el que sueña en ella.
Grand slam to put this Dominican team away in the knockout.
Dane Dunning is the new pitcher for Team Korea. Starts Juan Soto with a strike. Couple of bases loaded walks have added to the damage. These are the early termination numbers that we reminded you of earlier. Dunning pitching for Team Korea by virtue of his mother Misu, who was born in South Korea. Just signed a minor league deal with the Mariners a couple of months ago. We'll be headed back to Peoria and the Cactus League when this is all said and done. And he's in front of Soto, a ball and 2 strikes.
So far, no fastballs in this at bat.
You say that like you're surprised. I know you're not. No. Dunning won a World Series with the Rangers in 2023. It was his best season in the big leagues. Went 12-7 for Texas that year. And a 1-2 home. They opened 3 of them yonder. And run rule tournament homers. Full count. Dunning and Team Korea resting a 3rd straight bases loaded walk.
He's playing with fire too. All these pitches have been at the top of the zone. Soto does a lot of damage at the top.
But Guerrero next 3-2 pitch to him, and Soto was in swing mode there.
Swing mode, and he just missed that pitch right there.
Dangerous. Next 3-2. Soto lines it into right, and it carries for on to retire the side. The Dominicans spin it around and hang 4 more. All Team DR tonight in Miami.
Hay 2 sentimientos que nos unen: el amor por el deporte y el amor por la comida. Y en Chili's disfrutas de ambos. Vive la experiencia en el centro de la acción. Visítanos Modena llamando al 1833. Pide hoy. Estadio Chili's, tu mejor movida de sabor.
Cámbiate hoy a Claro y llévate el nuevo Samsung Galaxy S26 Series gratis y sin trading. Escoge el S26, S26 Plus o el S26 Ultra. Todos gratis en Claro. La red móvil donde más cobertura en Puerto Rico.
Con 1000 pesos para este vuelo, compré 2.
Hola, Gemini.
Hola, ¿en qué puedo ayudarte hoy?
Quisiera que me dieras un listado de artistas puertorriqueños que uno de sus padres es dominicano.
Productos Econo, de todo a la mano.
Claro, hay varios artistas puertorriqueños con raíces dominicanas. Por ejemplo, está Osuna, cuyo padre era dominicano, o Nati Natacha, que aunque es dominicana, tiene mucha conexión con Puerto Rico. ¿Hay algún género musical específico?
De música urbana, de reggaetón.
En el reggaetón tienes a varios. Además de Osuna, Jay Álvarez también tiene padres dominicanos. Y si te vas a productores, está Boy Wonder, que es de...
En Nuke University hemos recorrido...
Continúa, por favor.
Hemos traspasado tantas barreras.
Decía que Boy Wonder, que es un productor de origen dominicano, ha trabajado con muchos artistas de reggaetón. ¿Te interesaría saber más sobre alguno en específico?
Quiero que me digas todos los artistas, porque hay muchos. Está Arcángel y otros más. Quiero que te emplees a fondo y puedas buscar artistas y productores de música urbana dominicanos, puertorriqueños, que sus padres, uno de sus padres o sus padres son dominicanos.
Entendido. Busqué a fondo. Arcángel, por ejemplo, tiene a su madre dominicana, que fue cantante de merengue. Farruko también tiene raíces dominicanas. Y otros nombres que aparecen son De La Ghetto, Joel y Randy, que tienen pasaporte dominicano. Y hasta Mike Towers, que ha mencionado la conexión. En cuanto a productores, además de Boy Wonder...
Pero te faltó también Nicky Jam.
Sí, tienes razón. Nicky Jam es otro que también tiene ascendencia dominicana por parte de su padre. ¿Hay algún otro que tengas en mente que no hayamos mencionado?
Me gustaría que tú buscaras en el internet.
De acuerdo. Buscando más, encontré que Looney Tunes, los productores dominicanos que fueron pilares en el reggaetón boricua, son de origen dominicano. También el productor DJ Luyan, aunque es puertorriqueño, ha mencionado que su padre es dominicano. ¿Hay algún otro que creas que se me esté pasando?
Quiero que lo busques en el internet bien de a fondo.
Ok, busqué a fondo nuevamente. Además de los que ya mencionamos, aparece el nombre de T-Bone, que es de origen dominicano. Y en cuanto a productores, el dúo Mambo Kings, que han trabajado con Bad Bunny, también tienen raíces dominicanas. ¿Hay algún otro que quieras confirmar?
Me gustaría también que dentro de la música de merengue, a ver cuál más.
En el merengue tienes a Manny Manuel, que es de padre dominicano. Joseph Fonseca también ha mencionado su conexión con la isla. ¿Seguimos buscando el merengue o te gustaría cambiar de género?
Me gustaría figuras de la televisión o del teatro, del arte en Puerto Rico, que tengan una conexión así con los presentadores de televisión, diferentes personalidades.
Claro, en televisión y arte, figuras como Charitín, que es dominicana, pero tiene mucha conexión con Puerto Rico, o Shalim, su hijo, que es puertorriqueño, pero de madre dominicana. También hay presentadoras como Jennifer Fungensi, que es ítalo-dominicana y ha trabajado en la pantalla boricua. ¿Te gustaría saber más sobre alguno en específico? O
Sí,
buscar
y
más allá?
actrices y actores y presentadores de televisión.
Entendido. Buscando más nombres en el ambiente artístico puertorriqueño, está Maureen Olasco, que es puertorriqueño de padres dominicanos y ha tenido éxito en Hollywood. También está Michelle Rodríguez, que aunque nació en Estados Unidos, su madre es dominicana y tiene mucha conexión con la región. ¿Te gustaría saber de alguien más en particular?
No, así está bien, gracias.
De nada. Fue un placer ayudarte a encontrar artistas puertorriqueños con raíces dominicanas. Si tienes alguna otra pregunta, no dudes en preguntar.
yo no tengo problema. Cuando usted esté listo, yo lo puedo hacer, sea antes que lo brillen o después que lo brillen, como usted desee. Lo que sí es que, como le expliqué más arriba, se supone que para tu brillar un vehículo tengas que descontaminarlo, remover brea, sedimentos orgánicos, etcétera. Que si tú lo brillas, no le encuentro la lógica brillarlo primero y después descontaminarlo. Se supone que sea antes, descontaminarlo, remover todo lo que, ¿verdad?, que haya que remover los sedimentos, etcétera, y después que esté descontaminado, pues se brilla el vehículo y después se selle. Ese es el orden correcto. Pero si quieres, pregúntale a la persona que te lo va a hacer que si él va a descontaminar pintura antes de brillar el vehículo, porque si él va a hacer eso, pues entonces ya tienen un paso adelante y si está haciendo lo correcto, descontaminar pintura primero en varios pasos y después, si la persona que te va a hacer el brillado te va a descontaminar la pintura, remover la brea, sedimentos orgánicos, etcétera, ya cuando tú me lo traigas a mí, ya yo lo único que hacer es lavarlo nuevamente, eliminar las manchas de gotas de agua y los cristales. Siempre se recomienda descontaminación con air remover y aplicar el sellador, que sería mucho menos el costo, si es que la persona te va a descontaminar primero.
Mañana yo voy a ir al taller de él, porque es un ojalatero. Le voy a preguntar que si él va a descontaminar la pintura y esas cosas. Y le voy a decir, le voy a dar todos los detalles que tú me estás dando. Porque si simplemente se brilla así, con toda la contaminación, toda la brea y toda la vaina, yo me imagino que será tremendo disparate. Pero voy a averiguar, a ver cómo él lo va a hacer mañana, porque eso solamente... ¿cómo te digo? Pulirlo y ya.
Korea, the latest of which, Young Ko, who is well, you kind of get what Korea's trying to do. They're trying to keep it as close as they can by giving the Dominican hitters a different look in every one of their at-bats. Exactly right. I mean, Juan Soto's had 3 plate appearances tonight. He's faced 3 different pitchers. And it doesn't get much different than the submariner on the mound. Balls and 2 strikes to Manny Machado. We asked Albert Pujols before the game if there was a pitching roadmap in this one. Assuming a lead, assuming a close game, like, was it set in stone? And his response was no, as Manny strikes out. I think part of that was Albert not fully wanting to tip his cap and put it out there, which we understand. And part of it was you want to see how the game played out. So far, it's played out rather favorably. Two-way for Junior Caminero. We got a pitch hitter. We got O'Neill Cruz in for Junior.
Oh, he's done. Big home runs. It's very hard to find some at bats for him. 3 for 3, 2 home runs, no big deal. And they've been loud.
Yeah, he's not been responsible for making it out yet, and he's homered twice.
He tried to hit that.
That's not your short enough to move the runner swing.
I got the chance to see him in the offseason here with an aluminum bat. He was hitting balls where the Jumbotron is at and where his face was at. I had never seen anything like it.
What were the circumstances with his using an aluminum bat here?
It's a home run derby.
Just messing around.
Oh, okay. Caminero, him, Vladdy, all these guys.
Fly ball out to center field. And the Dominican Americans are retired in order for the first time since the first inning tonight. 7-0 game.
Aquí no vendemos inventos, vendemos comida que se hace aquí mismo, frente a ti y sin cuento. No me reechan ni de calidad, esto va a ser un gusto, con orgullo, con ganas, con sabor. Marco Pizza, como te gusta.
Cuando la grandeza llama, respondes. No te rindas. Crece. Diseña tus sueños. Todos se desarrollan las fragancias icónicas. Con MCS cuentas con un equipo estrella que cuida de tu salud y bienestar para que seas el campeón de tu salud completa. MCS, socio oficial del Clásico Mundial de Béisbol.
Ok, respira. En tu banco actual, ¿te da algo por tu depósito directo? Mira, tú necesitas a alguien que te valore. Como la cuenta libre de Oriental. Cuando mueves tu depósito directo, podrías recibir un bono de hasta $400. Y además, recibes el pago de tu nómina 2 días laborables antes y 0 cargo por mantenimiento. Cámbiate en orientalbank.com. Es mucho más fácil de lo que crees. Fíjate.
Multipack por $6.99. 2 opciones, una gran oferta. Escoge el pack soft con un soft más un side más una bebida o el pack pizza con una pizza más una bebida por $6.99 en Subway.
Cuando Móvil te da puntos para gasolina gratis a través de Journey, cada kilómetro es una invitación a disfrutar el camino. Porque esta isla es un regalo.